a lot of hype along with a lot of misinformation, a lot of concerns which runs around this protein brand, especially whey protein. So what is the truth behind it? Now, say a person who's having lesser amount of protein, say if he's having only say 30 grams of protein in a day, would you go ahead and straight away increase from 30 grams to 60 or 70 grams with a whey protein powder? May not be a good idea, because now would you need such protein powders? See, protein powders will just help in making sure your life is better. Now, how much protein should you have? Definitely depends upon your age, depends upon your medical conditions, depending upon your gender. A man would need more protein than a woman. 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram whey protein dabbas or bottles that is available, which usually the gym going or the fitness or the sports crowd would use. So which protein powder should you use? There are a lot of misconceptions around whey protein. Protein powders, definitely helpful, especially for people who wants to lose weight, people who are into fitness, gymming and exercises, workout activities, sports activities. Protein powder is an essential part of becoming healthy, improving your endurance and all those things. But then a lot of hype along with a lot of misinformation, a lot of concerns which runs around this protein brand, especially whey protein. So what is the truth behind it? As always, we'll keep it extremely scientific and simple for you to understand. Well, protein is definitely helpful if a person is wanting to lose weight. For example, if a person is overweight, if he includes more amount of protein in his diet, he will feel more full and the satiety quotient of the protein is much higher. For example, if a person is having 200 calories of energy getting from certain amount of protein, he probably might feel hungry only after say 2 or 3 hours. Whereas if he's having the same 200 amount calories of energy he's getting from say carbohydrates, he probably might feel hungry in an hour or 2. So in that sense, protein is more filling. You won't feel hungry soon, which will help you to stick within your calorie limit and which will also make sure that you are not overeating. So you will definitely not gain weight. And if your calories are structured reasonably fine, it will also help you to lose weight. So this is why people move to protein and protein rich food if they want to lose weight. Now that being said, what kind of protein should we have? There are a variety of proteins available, from the nutraceutical grade protein, this 400 gram, 500 gram pouches or packets of protein available in medical shops, for example. Or there is also these 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram whey protein dabbas or bottles that is available, which usually the gym going or the fitness or the sports crowd would use. So which protein powder should you use? Well, whey protein, which is the most commonly available sports fitness enthusiast, the protein that they use is actually made from milk. Now, when cheese or paneer is made from milk, the liquid portion which is left over has protein in it, and there are two types of protein that milk has. One is whey, which is around 20%, and then there is casein, which is around 80%. Now, this whey protein is one of the most bioavailable and easily digestible protein that you get, and that is extracted out of it and done a lot of processing, probably added some sort of artificial sweeteners or added some flavors such as vanilla, chocolate and things like that, and that's what is being sold as whey protein powders. Now, typically I've seen people look at or comparing whey protein brands and saying that, oh, this has per scoop 20 grams of protein and this one has slightly higher, say 24 grams of protein. So this one is better than the other one. That's definitely not the way that you would compare or see a protein powder or understand if it is better for the body. You would understand if a whey protein is better for the body based on its contaminants. Does it have any fungal or heavy metal contaminants? What is the bioavailability of the protein? So on and so forth. These are the most important aspects of understanding if this protein powder or whey protein is good for the body, rather than seeing if it has 1 or 2 grams extra or lesser as compared to the other brands. So how would we know that? Now, there was a recent project or a research project or study done by a very well-known hepatologist based in Cochin. This is called the Citizens Protein Project, when he has taken most of the commonly available protein brands in Indian market, including both the nutraceutical grade or the pharmaceutical grade protein powders that you'll get it from the medical shops, and also the fitness grade, supplement grade protein powders, and compared. So he's basically looked into understanding if it has any fungal contaminants or if it has any heavy metal contaminants. What is of the certain amount of protein that the company claims to contain? Does it actually have that much amount of protein, or what is the bioavailability of protein? So all these aspects are studies, and all these protein powders are ranked basis their claims versus their efficacy, and also obviously the presence of any heavy metals or not. Now, I'm not not going to name or say which brand is what, but obviously if you could just go ahead and Google up, you will get these reports and you would see which all brands fared better. Now these heavy metals can cause severe damage, especially to liver and kidney, which is why we always tell people to stay away from those kind of contaminated products. So that's how you go about having whey protein and including whey protein in the diet. Now, would you need such protein powders? See, protein powders will just help in making sure your life is better, easier. Obviously, we all know the protein-rich foods such as lentils, legumes, dal, all that stuff, and non-vegetarian protein sources such as egg, fish, chicken. These are there, but then probably making them, cooking them, and all those things might be a little difficult, especially for people who are traveling all the while or people who are staying in hostels. For such people, if the protein powder, take a scoop, mix it with milk or water, or maybe make a shake along with some apple or some fruit and have it like that is going to be a lot more convenient. So from a convenience point of view, these whey protein powders are going to be helpful. And in certain cases, certain medical conditions such as certain liver conditions, your doctor might ask you to take protein powder. So in that sense, protein powders are definitely helpful. But as I earlier said, see if there are contaminants and accordingly have the protein. Now, when it comes to whey protein, basically there are three types of whey protein: the normal whey protein, and then there is a slightly more expensive type or variety of protein called isolate, whey isolate, and then there is a even more advanced or lot more expensive type of protein called whey hydrolysate. Now, what are the difference between these three? The first one that I said, the simple normal whey protein, contains lactose also and many other milk. For example, lactose is basically the carbohydrate found in milk, right? So that's there, and in that sense, the amount of the whey concentration in that is comparatively lesser, but that's reasonably okay for a lot of people. I myself take that kind of a whey protein. So that's the first variety. Now the second variety is isolate. Now why do we have isolate? You see, some people will have issues with milk, right? The lactose, which is the milk sugar, might cause issues and digestion issues for people. For such people, especially those who are lactose intolerant, the normal whey protein will not suit well with their body, which is where the whey isolate, where this lactose is removed, comes handy. Obviously, it's going to be slightly more expensive. Now then there is a third variety called whey hydrolysate. So what is that? This is basically whey protein in a pre-digested form, meaning, for explanation's sake, say 20 to 30% of the digestion is already done, and that's what the whey hydrolysate is. So this becomes a lot more easier for the body to digest further and absorb it and utilize it for body's various requirements. So whey hydrolysate is especially helpful for people who have digestive disorders or IBS or irritable bowel or inflammatory bowel syndromes. For such people, whey hydrolysate can be helpful. We have had a client who had ulcerative colitis and had severe wastage of muscles and extremely thin and looking very malnourished, and we wanted to put him onto a calorie planned diet, and we wanted to include protein, but we want to take it slow and steady, one step at a time, in such measured approach towards managing and helping him to improve health. Obviously, whey hydrolysate came out a lot more handy. So that's how you go about the understanding what kind of whey to have. Obviously, as I earlier said, whey protein is mixed along with the various kind of taste enhancers. It might be vanilla or chocolate or blueberry, so on and so forth. And then obviously artificial sweeteners are also included, and that's how the whey proteins are available. So do Google and check out the whey protein that you think is best suited with less contaminants. Citizens Protein Project is where you would find these details, and that's how you would include the protein. Now, how much protein should you have? Definitely depends upon your age, depends upon your medical conditions, depending upon your gender. A man would need more protein than a woman, right? Depending upon your activity levels, a sporting person, an athlete which is very active and highly active would need more amount of protein for repairing of the tissues and everything. So what is the broad guideline? 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight up to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So it's the rough range of the protein requirement for a person. So for a person who's 70 kilograms in weight, 70 into 0.8, that would be 56 grams of protein. Up to 70 into 2, 140 grams of protein is the requirement. Now this 56 to 140 is a very broad range. Would you start with 56? Would you have 70 or would you have 100? Depends. As I earlier said, a person who's active can have more amount of protein. A person who's having a high uric acid or has a kidney damage, say creatinine levels being high or urine albumin, urine being frothy, would have to reduce protein slightly lesser based upon the doctor's advice, right? Now, say a person who's having lesser amount of protein, say if he's having only say 30 grams of protein in a day, would you go ahead and straight away increase from 30 grams to 60 or 70 grams with a whey protein powder may not be a good idea, because this person's body is not used to so much of protein. So it would be sensible to kind of phase the protein increase over a period of 3 to 4 weeks. Say for example, add additional 10-15 grams of protein. So from 30, take it up to 40-45 grams of protein. See if the person is getting bloating or constipation or anal fissures. See how the body is responding, and then gradually increase it further, right? So don't just go on a blanket approach. What works for one person may not work for the other person. But protein powders, which are high quality, without any heavy metal contaminants, without any fungal contaminants, bioavailable, high grade protein powder will definitely make your life easier. And if you're an athlete or a sporting person, this is going to give much more nuanced, helpful supplement to include in your overall routine.